Hey guys, Brian the cell phone guy here. Today we're going to talk about how to set up your new iPhone. Now for the purposes of this video, we're going to assume that you have already put an active SIM card into the phone and you've turned it on, and when you push the screen button, you get this screen. Okay, so now I'm going to walk you through the steps, step by step from here all the way to the end. Now, one thing that's important to realize is that at some point in this tutorial, we're going to skip by some stuff, and that's okay, because keep in mind that anything that you skip in the setup, you can go back to later and do. And the most important thing that we're going to skip is the setup of the Apple ID. Now, if you don't know your Apple ID, it's best to pause the video at this point and log on through your computer to apple.com, go to your account page and try and log in with what you think is your Apple ID. If it fails, then you can go through the reset my password steps on that, and then you can come back and do it on your iPhone. So when we get to that part in this video, we're going to skip the Apple ID part and we're going to come back to that later. So when you push the home button, it's going to wake up and it's going to say hola. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the home button one more time to open it. We're going to pick English and we're going to pick Canada. Then we're going to go to the quick start menu and we're going to choose set up manually. Now this is going to pop up with a whole series of Wi-Fi networks. What we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to the bottom to where it says use cellular connection. Now this is only going to work if you've already called our office and we've activated your SIM card, or you've put an active SIM card into the new phone. Now this is just going to take a few minutes to activate, so let's just hang in there while it does its thing. Okay, so now we're going to get to data and privacy, so we're just going to continue. Now set up Touch ID later or continue. For the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to set up Touch ID later, so we're going to choose don't use. Now keep in mind that you can go back and do any of this stuff later on. So passcode options. You have several choices here. You can use a 4-digit, you can don't use the password, you can use a custom numeric code. So for purposes of this demonstration, we're going to use the 4-digit. So you'll notice that it dropped down to 4. So don't pick 1, 2, 3, 4, but I'm going to tell you that that's just for the purpose of this demonstration. Okay, so use anyway, then it's going to ask you to repeat it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is the part where if you absolutely know your Apple ID, you can go ahead and restore from an iCloud backup or an iTunes backup. If there's any question about what your Apple ID is, don't use it for now. Just go ahead with setup as new iPhone and then choose forgot password or don't have an Apple ID. And you can set it up later in settings. So don't use. Okay, now the terms and conditions, we're going to agree. Enable location services. This is important. So we're going to enable that. What that means is if you didn't enable location services and you Googled where's the nearest Tim Hortons, it needs to know what city you're in so that it gives you correct information. Siri, we're going to set up later in settings. iPhone analytics, we're going to share with Apple, and we're going to share the analytics with the app developers as well. And then we're going to choose get started. This is the introduction to the new home button. So we're just going to choose next. And then you're going to choose a view. The zoom view gives you a slightly larger set of icons on the screen. So if you're getting old like me, you can pick that, or you can pick the standard. And again, you can change this later if you want. So we'll just choose zoomed, and you'll see the difference between zoomed and standard. So whatever you like is fine. And then choose next. And then it'll say welcome to iPhone, and you choose get started. Now to make sure your phone is working, if you have anything pending in the queue, you're going to see it pop down at the top here. And you're also going to see up in the top corner, you're going to see TELUS LTE and some signal bars and the correct time. Once you get to this screen, you're good to go. And then once you know your Apple ID and you want to continue, this little number 1 here means that there's something waiting for you in settings. And then you can go in here, finish setting up your iPhone, select that, and that'll walk you through the rest. But at least at this point, you can now make and receive phone calls, you can send and receive iMessages, and you can web browse. The only thing that's missing is your company designated email and all the global address list and things that go with that. So that's basically how you set up a brand new iPhone to get it ready for use. If you have any questions about the email setup or anything about The rest of it, you need to contact your service desk and they'll be happy to help you out with that. Thanks for watching.